What is up, you guys? Matt McKeever coming from sunny Miami, and I'm joined here with my fellow Airbnb Mastermind hosts, Adam Martin, Emma Pace, and Jeff Wybo. And so if you guys didn't know, recently at the Win-Win Mansion, we actually just launched our very first private mastermind. And we thought it'd be great just kind of sit down and debrief. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about what a mastermind is, what's included, why you'd want to come out, what's the difference between an online course and a mastermind. And we thought, seeing how the four of us are all here just wrapping up at the 10X event, Uncle G's big GrowthCon event, why not talk about the mastermind event we did? It's kind of inspiring what we want to do and grow with our brand, with our vision of helping other investors, you know, grow their net worth, grow their income, all that great stuff. So Adam's actually just been kind of breaking into the Airbnb scene. Yeah. So do you want to just share kind of what you shared with the audience at the Airbnb Mastermind?
Yeah, for sure. So I spent a lot of time at the Mastermind speaking about how to actually do an Airbnb room, a private bedroom in a shared house. So I've actually got an Airbnb room where my guests actually interact with myself and the students that I rent to in the basement. So I was sharing a lot of strategies and techniques about how to actually manage that space, keep it clean, as well as create a great 5-star experience for your guests while they're there and sharing that space with you. So I really was sharing about that, and I actually had a great opportunity as well to learn from a lot of the other speakers there, and I ended up changing my entire listing based
on... let's dive into that. That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, so right away, like same day, I think it was day 2, like I didn't even make it home before I changed my listing strategy. So I had changed from request to book all the way to instant book, and then I also activated smart pricing with basically a price floor, so that I always get the price that I was looking for, but in the event that there is some kind of event that I'm unaware of or some reason why prices would be surging at this moment, Airbnb will actually push my price up on its own.
Yeah, and you got like immediate results with it, right?
Yeah, right away I got like 3 bookings within like, I think like a day or 2. And originally I was avoiding this setting because I figured it would create more of a problem for me than benefit. But I definitely was wrong about that. Like right away I'm seeing the prices that I'm looking for, and I'm seeing way more bookings. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then we had Emma as a special guest on day 1 of the Airbnb Mastermind. And you guys probably remember Emma from my YouTube channel where she talked a lot about condos. And so at the Airbnb Mastermind, Emma, what did you kind of share?
Yeah, so I was able to share some of my optimization strategies that I've used in the past to make sure that you're getting sort of the highest nightly price and that kind of thing in bigger residential markets. And the other thing that I sort of focused on was how to build a good customer experience in the fact that with Airbnb, most people prefer that platform because they feel like you're renting off somebody, not necessarily a hotel. So I went sort of in detail about what sort of things I provide when someone arrives, certain things that I've done in the past, like having a chalkboard with their name written on when they arrive, certain things like that. But it was super beneficial for me to be able to network with everybody else who's been doing it. Even though I felt like I've been successful, there was certain little tips and tricks that I was able to take away from Phil, from Troy, from you guys, that'll help me in the future as well.
Yeah, and so that's a big thing about these masterminds is it's really collaborative. Yeah. And so Jeff's actually just in the process of kind of launching, you know, an executive stay or Airbnb. And we actually kind of documented and showed off your properties. Do you mind kind of sharing?
Yeah, absolutely, and also like co-hosted the event, so I can talk about that a bit too. So yeah, the best part, like we have this mansion, the Win-Win Mansion, and we're able to like host these Airbnb masterminds and future ones we're going to be doing, and it was really like network focused because you could ask so many questions. It wasn't classroom typed. And one of the things we did right after lunch, so everybody had a nice lunch, we hit the field and we ended up going out to some of the guys' Airbnbs, including my own, which is coming up. And I got to bring my designer there, and she and I were able to answer any questions right on the spot. So that was a really unique part of that mastermind. You got to go out in the field, see what an Airbnb looks like. And you saw a really high-end Airbnb, which is what I have getting set up. And you saw people making money when they literally have a lot of the same strategies, but they found cheaper ways to do it by going to thrift stores and finding like little like color. It's very interesting, like all little like color things come into play, like really like tie in rooms together. So just being able to network with a designer and other people that are doing it and ask them questions right on the spot is so valuable, and it goes beyond the mastermind weekend. You're also able to reach out to us later and now talk to the designers, text the other Airbnb hosts like your buddy Adam Steeper and my brother Phil Wybo, and then we went to Melissa's, so we saw like top end right down to this, and you know, we wanted you guys to come on the mastermind and hit the ground running with your Airbnb. We didn't want you to make any of the mistakes that we kind of went through, and like, look, Adam has an Airbnb and he's learned things right then and there and implemented them and made him money. So that's what we love to hear. And
yeah, and so something that was cool about Jeff's as well as Melissa's is they're really focused on a theme. I think that that's something that's going to become much more popular in 2019. You guys have probably seen Ty Lopez is already pushing the idea of Airbnbs and re-rental businesses, and we see a massive opportunity there, particularly for investors that maybe don't have a lot of capital. There's a lot of potential win-win partnerships between landlords that maybe have properties that they've neglected or they're not renting out for real market values, where you can step in as the re-renter. And by maybe focusing on these themes, for example, Jeff kind of focused on Central Park.
Yeah, so my thing is going to be more like, there is a Central Park area, but it's going to be like New York. And it's going to tie in throughout the whole apartment, just little things that, it's not going to be like overt, like you're going to not see the Empire State Building in every room. And Melissa's is Paris, and she has, you know, visit London, Ontario, and stay in Paris. And it's really unique. So if you're looking through 50 listings, it's a clickbait type of a listing where you're like, oh cool, like I can stay in Paris, and they're gonna potentially pay more because they're getting that experience. That's what we're doing, we're building an experience. Mine will feel like they're at a little cafe right outside Times Square or something like that in one of my rooms. The bedroom looks like Central Park, the front's gonna look like Empire State Building, and I added unique things like a mural, and same with Melissa. It feels like you're looking into Paris. So we're making the spaces, it's different than just normal renting when a tenant just moves in and does their stuff. We are being better than a hotel. We're showing a better user experience, and they'll pay us more. And I also have indoor grass. It's crazy to think of, but like Melissa had me, my designer, just try things, and like, what's the worst case that's gonna happen, guys? Take it out and you put down the gray floorboards after that. Like, it's kind of unique. You get to have fun with Airbnb, actually. So really, people are really excited about that.
So obviously, you know, based on my YouTube channel, based on my brand, I'm very focused on the numbers and being analytical. So the real attractor to me for Airbnb is, one, we're able to avoid certain hassles like the LTB or RTA, so you don't have to deal with tenants in the same way necessarily that a traditional landlord has to. But really, it comes down to the increase in revenue. So with my Airbnb, we had my business partner Adam Steeper walk us through 2 different units, one that we've already converted, one that we were mid-conversion into, and on the one we've converted, my old apartment actually, you know, market rents there would maybe be $1,350, $1,400 at the absolute highest, utilities included, and instead we're now averaging $2,500 a month. So even after you factor in the cost of cleaners, we're still making a massive difference in our cash flow, and all that money is immediately added to your bottom line. But in addition, a mastermind experience versus, say, an online course, you really get to hear from all the different people that are involved in the different aspects of the business. So we kind of announced that we're launching a new business in London, Ontario. It'll slowly be spreading across all of southwestern Ontario and eventually, hopefully, all of Canada. But Adam, if you kind of wanted to explain a bit more about bee cleaning.
Yeah, for sure. So what we wanted to do was basically address the problem that every Airbnb potential host comes up with for us. And the number one complaint is always, how am I going to manage this thing? How am I going to get it cleaned in time? How am I actually going to essentially focus my efforts as a host without taking up all of my time? Because a lot of these people already have other rentals. I know when we surveyed our audience at the Mastermind, it was like 99% had rentals already. So what they don't want to do is be rushing to their own listing, their own property basically, between 12 and 3 p.m. and trying to get that thing cleaned up before the next booking. So what we're going to do is actually offer that service for you guys. We've got a cleaner that's been working with Airbnb. She's super experienced, and she's going to be training up a little army of cleaners for us that are essentially going to be cleaning to the specs of each individual host. And that's going to come as well with a cleaning package and essentially a kit that we're going to provide for you guys that you guys can buy from us that comes with all the supplies you need. So it's really a hands-free experience for you guys to get started with your Airbnb, so that you don't have to worry about the time commitment of getting it clean and ready for the next guest. You don't have to worry about managing it. I think we're going to also have a bit of a management package that can come with it as well.
And so we actually had Belinda come in to the mansion and discuss the actual processes. So it's a lot different than, say, just cleaning an executive rental or someone's home. You know, there's much more of a time crunch, as Adam mentioned. And so first thing you need to do is kind of walk through the house, make sure nothing's broken or stolen or anything critical needs to be replaced. Then you need to immediately start laundry. And there's just all these little details that, as a first-time host, you may not be aware of, that why learn through the School of Hard Knocks when you can just lean upon our experience. And so in addition to that, also, Emma, if you wouldn't mind just kind of expanding, we're actually going to be launching an optimizer.
Yeah, so ultimately, if the management or cleaning is something that you're comfortable with at this point in time, but you feel like you might need a little bit of help with maximizing the rents, we are going to help analyze each of your listings through the Airbnb algorithm and ensure that you are doing everything A+, so that you're getting the highest nightly rates. So that would be basically a one-time service fee for us to be able to take care of that for you. So it's not a reciprocal fee if the out-of-pocket expenditures are something that you're cognizant of. However, with that being said, just to your previous point, as someone who has done the cleaning in the past and tried to outsource that service, I just want to express how important it is to have a cleaner that is really focused on Airbnb, because the cleanliness and the customer service that you're providing the people on Airbnb are the two ultimate major factors in terms of getting 5-star reviews. So you need to make sure that you are spending, even if it ends up being slightly higher than average market rates or anything like that, you need to make sure that you're spending money to ensure that your unit is being cleaned professionally for that particular service. Don't just be hiring anyone who comes in and cleans your parents' house every 2 weeks, because they aren't going to be looking for the same thing or have the same strategies that Belinda would have. And I was just absolutely blown away when I saw her come in, and she's just so systematic and so systematized in terms of the way that she does things. And the biggest benefit that I think that I saw from her is that she comes in and does a full deep clean first thing right off the hop to ensure that there is the foundation that's built for a successful cleanly unit there.
Yeah, and so we also even had our buddy Troy sit down and really dive deep into the analytics, and he actually got into the source code of Airbnb to show you exactly where you ranked and what your overall score, I believe, out of 100 was. And this is truly, like, it blew my mind seeing Troy dive this deep into it, but it's a fantastic tool that way too many hosts are unaware of. But again, not only do you get to hang out with us or the speakers at the Airbnb Mastermind, it's all the other attendees. So we had over 15 attendees there, everyone at different stages on their investing journey and different stages of their Airbnb investing journey. But it's really a collaborative experience. You all of a sudden get to increase your Rolodex by another 20 individuals that all either are actively investing in Airbnb or are actively looking to invest in Airbnb. This is really powerful, and it's a one-of-a-kind experience, guys. And based on OREC, based on the Las Vegas Mastermind, based on all my future events, we're really focused on that user experience. We want to ensure that we're creating the most unique opportunity for you guys to learn and to really be able to take action and move on that and start increasing your returns, because at the end of the day, we're all investors. The reason that we're doing this is to make money. So before we wrap up, guys, any other thoughts on Airbnb that you'd like to share or about the Mastermind?
I think I just want to say, from someone who didn't actually host the event, I sort of came as an impromptu speaker. Like, it was invaluable to build that network, and I think every single person that went to that mastermind had actionable items that they could take away. It wasn't something where it was like, oh, I just learned all this information and there's no actionable items. Like, I think every single person that is there is pretty gung-ho and knows the exact next steps to actually take action and make themselves successful.
Awesome. And so don't just take our word for it. Actually, listen to some of these testimonials.
So I'm Kellen. I'm here in London, Ontario. I've got 10 properties, 33 units.
Hey guys, I'm Corey McKinnon. I've been a real estate investor for 14 years now, approaching 100 units.
My name's Tom Sullivan. I invest in multifamily units in the Oshawa region. I currently have 16 cash flowing properties.
Dan DeVoe, medium-sized investor in Sarnia, Ontario, in Southwest Ontario. I've been investing for 15 years.
I really liked going in the field and checking out all the different Airbnbs and seeing like how different people are approaching them.
You know, being at the Win-Win Mansion, I think it's great. It's more of a homey feel, and you know, opens up conversations more. Really, just feels like you're at home. Like it's a good vibe.
You don't feel like you're in a classroom. You're actually in a true mastermind, speaking with other real estate investors doing the exact same thing, learning and having to pick the brains. Best way to do it.
This is such a great weekend and tons of information. Literally, if you can't do Airbnb after this weekend, there's something wrong, because it was just an insane amount of really good content. Fantastic, great guys. And you know what? After this too, if you have any problems, I'm sure like there's a bunch of guys here that can help you. You know, everything about the weekend was fantastic.